Hello, everybody. My name is Sylvain Rochon, the Paradise Engineer. We're going to be talking about the job market when we approach the year 2040. Very specifically, I'll get into that in a minute. But before I get into it, please remember to share the video, to click that you like it, and do all that stuff that you usually do if you want to stay notified about these videos and this information. And if you like the video, that helps me out a bit. Now, about the subject, the job market in 2040, why did I choose that date? Well, very clearly, very specifically, there's a very good research by Nick Bostrom and colleagues, and a bunch of other guys. Actually, there's at least two excellent pieces of research that was done surveying AI experts that show that most experts in the field, and including futurists as well, think that artificial general intelligence will emerge by the year 2040 or so. And it's not a fixed date. It's not like we're planning it. It's something that will kind of emerge out of the cloud, probably out of the internet, before any company actually builds one intentionally. But I don't want to really talk about that specifically. But I do need to define what AGI is. It's a human-level artificial intelligence. So basically an AI that's capable of tackling any tasks like a human would. So you're not programming these AI, this AGI for something specific. It just can tackle any task, any project, any job like a human would and learn. And it has access to all the information in the world. It doesn't sleep, it doesn't get sick, doesn't get tired, and it can continually improve on itself moving forward. It's way superior to a human brain and a human worker. So that's between now and the year 2040, we'll see the emergence of that. That's the ultimate worker, if you will, that will completely destroy and disrupt the job market. Now we have what we call narrow AI these days that are very specifically designed to do certain tasks, and they can't go beyond the borders of that specific task. And we're getting very good at it. A lot of narrow AI are in the market, more so that are coming. Most of them are actually designed currently to do highly repetitive tasks, image recognition, language recognition, robot stuff and manufacturers kind of repetitively do certain things, walk around in the case of AI that's used for robotics and movement. And soon we'll have AI in the market. It's already designed, that's able to also anticipate different random things going on, like you heard about the self-driving cars, which we'll start seeing on the roads in 2020, 2021, so a year or two from now. There's already some pilots in different areas in Silicon Valley, in Canada, in my city, and other places where they're already kind of driving and servicing individuals, giving them rides and whatnot. So right now it's already something that's pretty significant. It's emerging. And in 2040, 20 years from now, it's going to be like full disruption of the job market. Now, another piece of statistic you need to be aware of is that it comes from the McKinsey Global Institute, which did a whole bunch of research as well. And it, at its conclusion, it shows that about 50% of all paid tasks today can be done better using artificial intelligence. This is, again, today. So we have a transition between what we're seeing now in the job market, where most people are employed in some form, even though that's also moving, and where it just doesn't make sense to hire people because AI is just going to be better, right? But I'll get to some nuances of that in a minute, because that's what I want to describe in this particular video. Now, as part of the transition, just a logical transition, we'll see the general pattern of technology displacing jobs that we've seen since the beginning of work. For example, a new technology like AI, these narrow AI we're seeing now, facilitates productivity of fewer workers. So you need fewer workers to do the same productive task, because it's technology that facilitates that. And that does remove some jobs. But in parallel, you have new jobs, like, for example, programming the new AI or making new robotics and things like that, that are created in parallel. So there's this balance in the job market that's been going on for centuries. And it's still going on today, because narrow AI, as they are today, they just support a person's work. They can't replace the worker entirely. That's something that AGI will essentially do in, I don't know, 15 to 20 years or something, within the next 20 years. So for the time being, for the next 5 to 10 years, we're still going to see basically the same pattern of retraining. If your job gets lost because no more taxi drivers, for example, with the self-driving cars, fewer and fewer drivers, well, these drivers will need to be retrained to something different, perhaps some field that is being built in parallel. So there's that going on. But again, eventually that completely that's mucked up, contrary to the usual pattern by the AGI. And in a world where, like, especially in private companies, AGI is better, like more efficient, less troublesome, less costly, improves on itself. I mean, that's way better investment for a company to get a worker that is essentially an AGI with robotics and all that stuff than hiring a human being. Well, what do the humans do? What happens to the job market? Because then the whole cycle of the economy is based on people actually getting a salary, paying taxes, so that the governments can provide the services we need to run the country. I mean, for the economy to actually work, and we're buying goods. I mean, the businesses need us to make the goods. I mean, this whole cycle of cash flow is completely disrupted if people are not needed in it. Because then we need the salary to buy the stuff that the companies actually are building, right? If we're not working, we can't buy it. Why does the business do anything in the first place? It's completely out of whack. So we need to transform from this type of economy to something that does not require workers to work for a living anymore, because it just doesn't work. We'll still need products and services built by AI, but I mean, the economy doesn't work because nobody's paying this AI, because we're not working. Remember, right? So who's paying the companies that have all the AI and robots to actually to make the products that we actually do need? So an economy has to be more citizen-centric, where we are at the center. We do need what we need to do, what we need to survive. So we need to get that, and we need an equitable way to distribute this bountiful transformation from raw materials to goods, food, and whatever else you want, that is completely independent from the need of human beings to work. So the concept of working for a living needs to go. Basically, that's it. Now, what's really interesting is that the concept of offer and demand for humans, for us, doesn't go away. Like, a human worker won't completely go away, because the economy of offer and demand depends on what the demand is. So, for example, let's project in the future where you have all these AIs and whatnot, and it's all available, and you want some food delivered. Simple enough. We do exactly the same thing we're doing now. We don't really care if it's a driver, a drone, or anything that comes to the door delivering the food. It's just handing over the bag. We did the transaction already online or on the smartphone. We already know what to expect. We just want the food and eat it. There's no need for the human interaction with the person at the door. We don't care. But if the idea is to go to eat a gourmet food because we can't make gourmet food at home, and we're going to a gourmet restaurant which has a special atmosphere, and we want to have an experience, well, that's different. You're reserving a table, you're dressing up, you expect a waiter or waitress to banter with, to kind of enjoy an ambiance, an environment that is probably social, where you have other human beings enjoying, serving, doing different things. Well, that's the demand. So if as long as there's somebody that wants a certain experience they can't provide for themselves that requires another human being to fulfill, well, there's a demand, and then there's an offer that requires a human being to fill, and that will remain true. Even if the AGI, AI, robot, and whatever else like technology that's available is way superior as far as efficiency, cost, all that stuff. If there's a demand for a human being, if somebody asks, I want a human being to serve me at this gourmet restaurant, well, the gourmet restaurant will hire a human being to do that. So human work and the job market, even like when AGI makes an appearance, will not completely go away. My point is, however, that we can't depend on everybody having that type of work to survive, because that doesn't make any sense for a lot of stuff that where you have a person interacting with you. You don't need for your basic needs, for example, you don't need a person there. You may want one, but it's basically an option. Most people just want the groceries efficiently. If they want social interaction, they'll probably go do something fun, not something that requires repetitive work. You don't go to your cashier, the grocer, and you absolutely want to have a person at the checkout line. No, that's repetitive work. People don't usually enjoy that kind of work. They don't want to do it. So if a robot is cheaper, better, more efficient at checking you out at the grocery store, and nobody really wants that kind of work, well, the robot's going to be doing it. That's pretty much 100% of the time. But there's some jobs, like I can imagine a gourmet chef may be passionate about making food. A robot can probably do it better, but he likes that. He likes baking and cooking and doing these things. It's something he enjoys doing. It's his contribution in artistry, an expression of humanity by doing that. And if there's a demand out there of people that want to sample that specific cook's cuisine, even though they can get maybe better, faster food elsewhere, well, there's a matchup. Offer and demand matches up. So you can have value exchanges and social exchanges. The social experiences that we love and enjoy, we can still have them. They will be probably more limited to things that we are passionate about, that we enjoy doing, because somebody is giving and enjoying the give, and somebody is asking and enjoying the ask. And that is still a dynamic that will occur in the quote-unquote job market of the future, even with a world full of AGI that's super competent. So the question of human purpose and human interaction and social interaction will always remain irrelevant to the quality and the quantity of technology that's around us. As long as somebody's asking for social interaction, somebody's going to want to give it. And guess what? Biologically, our biochemistry demands as an imperative to be social. That's how we are. So we will find creative ways to interact with each other in an offer and demand type of fashion. But we just need to do it beyond survival, beyond the economy of, if I don't work, I can't eat, for example. That's a paradigm that needs to go, that should go, and we should encourage pushing toward a path so that we can enjoy this wonderful future where every type of task that nobody wants to do or few people want to do, AI can do it super efficiently and very, very well, so that we get our goods really, really efficiently and cheap, and we get to just focus on things that each individual finds fun, and it can still be inside a market structure that distributes rewards and value fairly. That's all I have today for today. I did write an article. It's in the down below. So and once again, if you like the video, if you want to see more, and if you want to get the update, you know what to do. And I will continue to preach and to write and to do videos on these subjects over the next number of months until I get tired of it, I guess. But I don't think that will happen because I've been doing it for years. Bye-bye for now.